Hi, everyone. Hi, Cynthia. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oops.
Can y'all hear me?
Dave is having another good day. That's awesome. We'll start in about 5 minutes. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, good. I'm glad the lighting is good. It's pretty dark down here, so. Brandy said she's going to be at my admin today, which feels a little funny. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah. To see if my nerves can handle it, you mean? I'm excited, but also anxious. These things that go through your head, like, how many mistakes am I going to make on this bag because I'm nervous, and am I going to get it completed, and I don't want to go over 2 hours. Can I do it in 2 hours? Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Cynthia. So I just wanted to wait right until 10 o'clock in case anybody else decides to come in, and then I'll get going. That's true, Michelle and Cynthia. Hi, Sonia. No, Catherine, I'm always so worried that people are going to get bored after 2 hours. I am making the Tumbleweed by Blue Calla. That's very true, Brandy. Yeah, my favorite. Aw, yeah. Sewing never bores me either, Catherine. Cynthia, I don't know if it's my favorite. I've had to do so many of them that I'm getting just a little tired of it, but that's okay. I still love the bag. I love that it's popular, and that I've never been one of those people who can just sew the same bag one after the other. So it's been a little bit of a chore, but I'll get there. Well, Cynthia, it is my most popular bag, definitely. The problem is that I've got a show coming up December 21st, and I would love to be able to have some of these bags for the show, but I've got so many orders for them to try and fit one in, even one in for my show. It's like, do I really want to make another one? uh, I'm not. Oh, Sue. Hi, Sue. Excuse my dog. I had a bear in my backyard yesterday. So my dogs are they still seem to be on high alert. Every time I let them outside, they're sniffing and they're looking over where the bear was. So yeah, it was, yeah. His name is Mr. Bingley, but we just call him Bing for short. I'm a Jane Austen fan, and of course, Mr. Bingley was in Pride and Prejudice, so that's how he got his name. Yeah, he's saying hi, all right. Okay, so the reason I'm doing a tumbleweed today is because I have an order of 12 for my friend Kirsten, and this will be number 6. So I'm slowly but surely getting them done. And as Brandy kind of mentioned, I'm actually going to do my best to try and help her out and keep her channel active right now because of everything that her and her family are going through. So this is my first try. Let's see if I like it, see if I can handle the nerves, and we'll go from there. So I've already done one strap for the tumbleweed. I do them differently than the pattern calls for. And then I've got my other one, which I'll do on camera. This is the zipper panel. And I've already got, since I do it differently, I've got my strap connectors on here. And I've left one to do on camera as well. What I did was I just found a strap connector that I really liked. I can't remember what pattern I got it from, but I just found a strap connector that I really liked, and I cut out 8 of them. And what I did is I taped 2 of them together, and once they're taped really well together, that's when I cut about 1/8 of an inch off, enough that the strap, the the rectangle ring will fit in it properly. And then without even sewing it, I sew it down. The only time it gets sewn is when it's sewn down onto the train case. So I've got one more of those to do. And this is the lining for the train case gusset, and I've used EB Fuse on the back. And these are the wire frames for the bag. This is one of the train case pieces. And this I've already done it because I wanted to get the little things out of the way. This has the mesh pocket on it. And the pattern calls for it to have tabs on either end of the zipper. But I started not even bothering with the tabs, and it works out just fine. By the time you sew it to the rest of the bag, it works just fine. So there's 2, 3 linings, and then there's one. This is the bottom, the train case bottom. This is a vinyl that I got from um, Anna, Galaxy Customs. I cannot remember the name of it, but I love it. It's nice and soft, and it's not one of her thicker vinyls, but it works just perfectly. And what I did here is it's got the EB Fuse light, or no, maybe not, because it's vinyl. It's just got the Bosel and R uh, foam stabilizer on it. This is the lining for the gusset back panel. Like, I don't know where this fabric came from because this is from my friend who wanted me to do these for her. These are the linings for the zipper panel. And this is the back panel in the vinyl for the gusset. This is the zipper panel, and that's the front panel. I've already got my tag on it. And as you can see, I do the front panel a little bit different. I have done a cutout here just to make it a little more interest. And then I added the seam allowances to my cutout and to each side. So that's how I do my front zipper panel. And then my gusset. So let's start by doing my other handle. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Rhonda. Now, what I found with these wire frames, personally, is that every time I try to insert them through the zipper panel at the end, these little rubber tips keep coming off. And so what I did is I took some E6000 and I just put it on the ends, on both ends, and put the rubber things back on. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, what I do is I just take some duct tape and I put it around the sharper ends, and then I insert the wires into the zipper panel. So I've got 2 bobbins ready, and the bobbin that's in there is ready to go. I'll put you guys down here so you can see my machine. Those are good. Let me know if that view is okay. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Cynthia. So the bear that we had in our yard yesterday, he was so cute. But so I called the police just to let them know that there was one in our area. And she came by, police officer came by, and she just said, they're just tired this time of year. Said black bears don't actually hibernate. There's a word for what they do. And they sleep for a while, they get up, they find some food, and then they sleep again. So she said, as long as it's not aggressive, conservation isn't worried about it, but you should still let conservation know. So we did. But no, he wasn't aggressive in the least. He was so cute. Drove my dogs nuts, but he was so cute. And then I kept an eye on him throughout the day. But then he got up. He heard me come out my back door to check on him. And he just kind of peeked his head up above all the brush in our backyard. And he slowly just kind of lumbered over to the fence and stretched, lumbered over to the big tree in our backyard and stretched again, and then slowly made his way past our dining room window, and he scratched himself on our tree for the longest time. It was so cute. And then off he went, and I haven't seen him again. I mean, we keep an eye out. I've got my flashlight if I come in at nighttime just to make sure he's not facing me when I come in the gate. But yeah, I wasn't scared at all. He was just, if it had been a cougar or something, I definitely would have been scared because those things scare me. But no, it was a bear. He was very, very well behaved. Brandy, you said Dave is doing good today? That's awesome. Make sure you say hi to him from all of us, okay? Did you all hear? Brandy hit 20,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel yesterday. Oh, this is a Chicon, Chikon 1541. I saw the picture of you and Dave at the restaurant yesterday. It was nice to see his smiley face. Oops. So these will be ready to go at the end. Let's get this all screwed down here. This is the worst part, worrying that I'm going to lose these screws on the floor. And there's Bing again. He likes to talk. He has lots to say. Oops. I think Rhonda's sewing along with me today. Is anybody else sewing along with me? Hey, that's okay, Melissa. As long as you're sewing. Our happy place, right? This side doesn't want to cooperate, so oh, there we go. How's everybody's weather? I live in Lower Mainland, British Columbia, and it's just starting to get chilly down here. We had tons of rain last week, so wasn't cold at all, but it's just starting now. Okay. boring part over. So the next step is to these cutlets. And what I like to do is put double-sided tape on the lining and the exterior. Makes it easier than having to baste down the zipper on the lining and then do another set of stitches for the when you put the zipper on the main part. So this is how I do it. I can't remember what the measurement was for the zipper on here. I'm not supposed to give those measurements out anyways, but I make it longer so that I can keep the zipper pulls out of the way. It just makes for easier sewing. Yeah, I didn't know that about black bears, that they don't hibernate. Apparently, grizzlies do, but black bears don't. They just sleep a lot. They are tired all winter long, but they sleep and eat, sleep and eat. A friend of mine who's a wildlife photographer, he has photographed grizzlies and you name it, he's done it. He came over with some bear spray for me, and he said normally they're pretty good, but he said sometimes you'll get a female who's pregnant and she could end up under your deck, and then you do have to watch out for them because they're being very protective of their pregnancy, right? So, but I don't think this was a female. He wasn't acting protective or anything. Just wanted to sleep. Okay, sew that up. This is the worst tape. I was getting desperately low and I didn't have time to wait for tape that I usually get from Anna at Galaxy Customs, so I got it from Amazon. Never again. Just awful. Thanks, Carol. Oh, that was smart. My zipper foot on. It turned out okay. Yep. Okay, so now what I like to do is put tape on both sides of this. Both sides? Yes. And fold them away from the zipper. Yes, Cynthia. If I had had time to wait, I would have got it from either Waywack or for us in Canada, it's Cleaner Supply. And I would either had got it from there or from Anna. But I was at the very ends and I had to get a bag done. So Amazon had next day delivery. So that's what I did. Silly me. Let's see if it works. How many of you have made this bag before? Any of you? I do have a YouTube channel, Carol, but um, all it has on it right now are old soap making videos. So one of these days I'll do a taped sewing video and load it up. Got to make sure I like it first. Did you like it, Diane and Tony? Okay, so now we take one train case back panel lining and we line it up here. And what you do is you only sew from here to here, right where that seam starts. You don't want to sew all the way through or anything. You just want to sew from here to that seam. And then you do the same with the main back panel, the exterior. There's one clip. Probably won't be the last. And now with both sides together, you're just going to sew this area right here that goes from the top of the zipper down to where that seam ended there. Now you want to top stitch. And when you first start, you just want to top stitch this area from the top of the zipper to the end of the zipper here. And then we want to pull back the lining, make sure it's completely out of the way to do the rest of the top stitching from here all the way down. You don't want to get that lining caught in the top stitching. What I like to do is just kind of clip it out of the way. Just make sure it's not getting hot. Oh, Rhonda, that's all right. I love my machine. It's the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Oh, right. Yeah, I caught my lining a little bit, so I'm going to have to do just a tiny bit of snipping. See, these are the things I worry about. Tiny little mistakes. Hmm. I skipped it, but it's not coming apart anymore, which is weird. Oh, there it is. I figured it had to be apart somewhere. Okay. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, now we gotta do the other side, which is a little more complicated because it's in a loop now, but it's definitely doable. I have wanted to try sourdough for so long. I tried it from scratch, I don't know how many times, and it never worked. So I got a sourdough starter from a craft fair last year, and I've had it sitting in my cupboard because I'm afraid that one's not going to work either. So I'm just being a bit of a big baby about sourdough. I just know that my husband is diabetic, and he grew up on white bread, and for a diabetic, that's not good. But trying to get him on a whole wheat bread or a seedy bread or anything, ugh, it's like pulling teeth. So they said sourdough is better for him. So that's why I wanted to do it so bad, but it never seemed to work out for me. Must be doing something wrong. Okay. Yeah, see what I mean? Just awkward. I'm gonna pull these in before I forget. There we go. Okay, I'm confused. Somebody help me. This is supposed to be like this, right? So I can sew that top portion there. Kim, I have a Chicon or Chicon 1541. This isn't cooperating at all. There. That's very good. Okay. So now, as same as the other side, I'm just pulling it back and sewing that small area just over the zipper here to meet up with that seam that I already did. Did you hear that thunk? Even my machine had a little bit of. It's kind of bulky up here with the zipper and the 2 layers of, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, not to mention the foam stabilizer. So now I can trim this back a little bit. Very end. So again, we're going to top stitch here and then fold the, which is a little more difficult on this side, fold the lining out of the way and top stitch the rest of the way. Yeah, train pieces aren't my favorite, but You think they'd be old hat for me by now, but they still give me trouble from time to time. Oh, I caught my lining again. Yep. Of course. Try clipping that out of the way. See if that helps. Brandy, do you remember the name of this lino from Anna? I think it's named after some kind of animal. It's like a mottled vinyl, but it's not terribly thick. I just can't remember the name of it. The word cheetah keeps coming to my mind, but I know that's not it. Lynx, maybe? Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Yep. Got it. Kinda. Okay, so now we want to pull this apart so that the exterior is on one side and the lining on the other. Because the next step is the exterior body. And make sure that you have marked your centers, long sides and short sides. And one of the long sides goes to the front. Oops. Lovely. Right sides together. And clip, 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 clip like your life depended on it. In other words, I use lots of clips. Yes, it is lovely. I love it. Yeah, this is not. Oh, come on. Oh, I see. I have to mark my quarters on here. I thought I did that, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, Rhonda, I tried so many different ways of doing this because I've done so many of them. I used staples at one point and then one of those really nice staple removers that are really, really quick. And it worked, but I just find that clipping it really, really, really well works just as well. A lot less work too than stapling and removing. Thanks, Cynthia. So here, this is the only section here that I find I need to clip, is where that curve is. So just snip, snip, snip as many as you need to do to get that to form in there properly. I'm willing to try anything, Rhonda, that might make things easier, but I just didn't feel like it did. I felt like clipping did just as good a job as the stapling did. Different for everybody, but that's what I thought. And you only want to clip the gusset, not the trim case bottom. And I just do the tiniest little snips. I don't even know if they're an 1/8 inch. They're just tiny, tiny snips to help it conform to the shape of the train case bottom. That's all we want. What would we do without our clips? I didn't even know such a thing existed before I started watching bag making videos a number of years ago. I just thought I was a quilter, so all we ever used was pins at the most, or quilting basting spray, or never had to use clips. Are you quilting yet on your sandwich yet, Brandy? Or are you still putting it together? Thanks, Nicole. Okay, we're gonna give this a go. Let's hope it cooperates. Oh, I think I used my zipper foot for just made it a little bit easier to get by those curves. Let's just give that a try. Now I remember my zipper foot when I'm not doing the zipper. Okay, thanks, Brandy. Say hi to him for me, okay? I'm sorry you can't see, but I only have the webcam on my laptop. I don't have another camera over here. Oof, that's not a nice sound. Squeaky vinyl. Oh no, I think that was my tape. That's what's making me do that. This is my beautiful stiletto and seam ripper that Brandy got me. I love it. It does help having that zipper foot. And I'm a firm believer that it's all in the way you hold your mouth. Sorry if I'm quiet. Concentrated. Yes, Catherine, give it a try. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Nicole, you weren't here for my bear story. I had a bear in my backyard yesterday, just sleeping. But my dogs, of course, were going crazy. I had to phone my hubby, and I told him, I said, there's a bear in our backyard. The dogs are going nuts, and I don't want to let them out to go to do their business because they're just making too much noise. They're going to disturb the poor bear. So Lauren says, I'm coming home. You don't need to come home from work. I'm fine. But yeah, he had to come home and see for himself that the bear was behaving. And then he was able to let the dogs out while he kept an eye on the bear. He sure was cute. Okay, now we gotta take a look and see if it was done okay in the inside. It's okay. Didn't catch anything. No folds. Yay. Yes, she just hit 20,000 yesterday, Nicole. It's amazing. How are you doing, Nicole? I haven't talked to you in ages. Okay. Mm, Okay, so now I attach the lining piece that doesn't have fleece. And I do that at a bigger seam allowance so that it fits nicely into the chain piece bottom. There we go. That's good. Okay, now I gotta do my quarter something. Okay, same thing. Match up all your little notches here. Pull it away. I like to match up my notches first and then work around. Uh-oh. Don't you hate it when your sewing machine has to go in for a spa day? I can't thank you all enough for joining the live today. I didn't think I'd have anybody here, to be honest. I'm definitely not Brandy.
Bush.
Oh, hang on. Just let me text my hubby real quick, let him know that I'm on a live. Aw, thanks, Cynthia. I hope I'm not boring anybody. That was my biggest worry. People are going to get so bored. Hi, Rosie. I know you can't chat, but I'm so glad you're here. Thanks, Rhonda. Hey, Rosie, you haven't seen me since I got my hair cut. See? It's all short now. Short and curly because I just, my hair keeps getting curlier as I get older, but I could never take advantage of it because it was just it didn't do much when my hair was long. As soon as she cut it short, boing, curly hair everywhere. Oh, thanks, Cynthia. Sure is easy. When you have curly hair like this, I'm able to just wash it and leave it. Oh, yes, you could do it. Both of you, Kim and Rhonda, you could do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I'm a bit of a nervous Nelly. So, thanks, Rhonda. I give a lot of credit to these bag makers that do lives all the time. I mean, how do you do it? I'm writing lists and I'm making sure that I'm completely prepared for anything that might go wrong and drive myself nuts for 5 days before I go live. So maybe you just get used to it a little bit and it gets a little bit easier. Sure hope so. So what do you think? Got enough clips? Here we go. Sorry for lack of talking. Concentrating. Yeah, Cynthia, I get that. For the longest time, I wouldn't do one of these bags without going along following Brandy's tutorial on this bag. She does have a tutorial. I hope I put it down in the description box. Maybe I didn't. Anyways, just search Tumbleweed Beans Bags and Handicrafts. You'll see it. So yeah, I wouldn't do it without watching her tutorial. But after you've done a number of them, it gets easier. I still have my little list over here to my left, just to be completely truthful with y'all, just in case I forget. second side always so much harder. Whew. I think I may have to turn my fan on. Anybody else get super hot when they sew? I sure do. Yeah. Yeah, tutorials are awesome. Back when I was making clothing all the time, a tutorial would have been nice for all the clothing I was making, because there are certain parts of a pattern sometimes, if you read ahead, maybe this is just me, but if you read ahead in a clothing pattern, I just, I'm so confused. I'm like, how is that going to work? I don't get it. But by the time I got to that part, it made total sense. So I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's the way I was. I just got so tired of making clothes all the time, because you see a pattern and you think, oh, that'll look really cute, and then you make it and it doesn't look cute at all. So all that, and patterns are expensive. So all that work, all that time, all that money, and when you don't like it when it's done. I used to have to make clothes. I mean, when I was making clothes for my boys when they were little, I really enjoyed that, because it was small, it didn't take very long, and I mean, kids look cute and everything, so. But then recently, just this past summer, I started making clothes for myself again, and I'm really enjoying it. I found a few styles that I really like and having a nice time. Yeah, that's what I thought too, but this light here, it's not hot at all. It's just, so yeah. I have no idea why I get so hot. Okay, everything look good. Time to pull the train case out through that hole that I left here in the back panel of the gusset. This might take me a hot minute. I have bad hands, which I think is typical for a bag maker. Oh, come on. looks okay. When the bag is completely done, I like to just kind of roll my seams and give it a good steaming. Wherever there's cotton, I like to steam it. I got a really nice one of those stand steamers that I use. Yeah, Rhonda, I used to make quilts as shower gifts, wedding gifts, baby gifts, you name it. I was making quilts all the time. And then it just got too hard on my hands because when you're quilting, you've got all this weight over here that you have to constantly be juggling while you're quilting, and it just killed my hands and my arms. Okay, so now we can baste this opening closed right here, the back panel. Boy, I make a mess. Oops, there's another clip. Told you there'd be more. Gotta go clip hunting when I'm done here. Okay, so that can, once this is closed, this can be set aside for a little bit. Just baste that closed. Okay, next step. Zipper compartment. So as you saw, I added my bag tag already. But what I'm going to do first, since this is the last, is I'm going to take the strap connector that I made, and I'm going to attach that to the back. It's the last one. I found the way that the pattern asks you to do straps. I found it hard to manipulate because they get you to put the straps on at the end, and I found it really hard to manipulate, right? So I just thought, why don't I do what I would do normally on a bag and just do strap connectors and normal straps. So that's what I'm doing. Denise, I got them at Alibaba, and I can't remember my contact. It's the same person that Kasaya uses, because I loved that 3D kind of effect where the printing is sticking out a little bit. Okay. My bobbins are unraveling all over the place. Okay. I changed my foot. Okay. I wish I could remember her name. Um, oops. Um, this one. Wait, the first one. Um, Denise, remind me before I sign off here, and I'll have a look in my phone and see if I can find my supplier. I'm going to pull my threads to the back so that I can tie this off. Hi, Stephanie. So what I like to do when I tie my threads at the back is just add a little bit of duct tape just to make sure that knot doesn't come undone. Okay, so now click the centers, which I've already done. Okay, so now we've got to make a mark. Um, top and ruler. This probably won't show up because there's a pinkish burgundy color in here, but we'll see. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to use the Yeah, Kim, I agree. The initial cost of they have to get the what's that called? the initial cost of getting the plate done for your tags is a little more expensive. But then from that point on, everything is just the cost. Thank you, Jaded Template. How are you doing, Jade? After that, the cost is strictly the bag tags, not the template. Is there an admin on here? Can you just keep an eye on something for me? So on the lining, we put the tape just between those two marks that I made. And then on the exterior, you do it all the way across. Okay, so then we take our zipper. And what I like to do, and I've already done it, is I take a look at the zipper teeth, and whatever side has the top tooth, I put a tiny little mark. You probably can't see it. Yeah, you can. Tiny little mark on the side that has the first tooth. And then I do it on the other side as well. And then that way, when I have to put the zipper back together, I know which side has to have the upper tooth in it. So we pull our zipper apart. And we'll find the middle of your zipper. You match up your middles. Right sides up onto the lining. That once it hits that, I like to use pins for this if I can. Once it hits that mark that you made, you want to make sure that it bends down out of the sleeve. So, and then I just kind of fold it down out of the way and you kind of give it a clip to keep it there. Same with the other side. I can't see. Okay. And again, fold that down out of the way. But with the exterior piece, you go all the way across. Matching your centers. Oh boy, it's 11:32. I'm a slow poke, aren't I? Mm, okay. Sew this up, making sure that zipper is out of the way up into that mark. Okay. Keep it again. Long zipper foot. Yeah, Annie, I've seen Heartwood and Hide tags. I just love them, but they're in the States. I'm Canadian. I don't get down to the US terribly often. I do have a mailbox down there, but I don't get down there very often. So, and the exchange isn't very good. So, it's kind of hard. Setting tape. Driving me crazy. Shove the zippers out of the way. All right. Yep. Okay. Um, okay, so now I'm going to put double-sided tape on the lining seam allowance and fold it away from the exterior. Oh, spotted zebra. I don't know if I've heard of those guys. Hmm, have to look them up. Because I do love my metal tags, but every once in a while it would be nice to kind of mix it up and put a, especially depending on what bag you're making. If you're just making a pouch, sometimes it's nicer to have um, a cork tag. Okay, so now I gotta do this on for the other side. And center. Oh, I can imagine, Nicole. Oops, did that wrong. Supposed to keep the supposed to do my marks, which I forgot to do. This one isn't going to stick it out, is it? Let's see. Wait. Yeah, that's a nice idea, Annie. Okay, works here. And put the tape in between those marks. Oh. Yeah, there's quite the selection out there, Annie, isn't there? When I first started making bags, I think there was only like a handful maybe of suppliers that I knew about anyways for bag supplies and that kind of thing. And I was always saying, man, I wish I had more in Canada. We're getting there. There's a lot more suppliers out there than there used to be, but as far as metal bag tags, would be nice to have someone here. I would love that. No way. Oh, Stephanie. Let me see. I might have her email. Just 1 second. I do not. Sorry about that. And clean the rest of the zipper out of the way. Okay. And now, exterior facing down on the zipper. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that, Nicole. That would be amazing. Okay, we're good to go. Make sure that zipper is out of the way when you do that first little section to the mark. Are you still doing okay, Brandy? Okay, good. Oh, what a nice guy. Yeah. I can let you all go in at noon if you like, so that I'm not taking more than 2 hours. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, isn't that nice, Rhonda? What a guy. Do you think you could convince him to use a cane, Brandy, for that right side? Okay, now we are going to line up with exterior to exterior, lining to lining. We want to clip our zippers out of the way. Don't want them to get sewn into this seam here. Oh, good. Okay, so now we're going to line up these seams, these side seams here. Oops. Exterior to exterior, lining to lining. Now, what I like to do is put a pin through the stitching on this side and make sure it's going through the stitching on that side, just to line up that, so that it, because you want these two seams to line up. This is just cotton, and then it's got uh, vinyl accents, and the train case and the bottom is also vinyl, but this is just cotton. And this is the fabric that my friend chose for this particular bag. She picked out all 12 with of the fabrics that she had them herself. So she put together her little packets of what she wanted to use. Except for the vinyls or corks, she left that up to me. Okay, so now we're going to do the side seam. Okay. One side done. I'm keeping the zipper for I don't need it anymore. Well, I need it there, but not for this part. Okay, let's see. Pretty close. Oh, spot on. Yay. Okay, here comes the fun part. Take this train case, bottom that we've already got done here. Make sure that the front, I wonder why. I'm actually wondering if I should top stitch right here before I move on, because it is feeling a little bulky in there. I probably should have trimmed that. It's a lot easier to top stitch now than when the bag is done. Brandy, can you remember if there's any reason I couldn't do that? I can't remember. There shouldn't be, because there's only I'm only sewing onto this part of the zipper now. Okay. Yeah. Not easy, but well, I think you're supposed to do it at the end, and that to me is even worse. Maybe I'll just turn it inside out and top stitch now. And if I find out later that there was a reason I can't do it at this step, then I guess that's life. Get my regular foot back on. If you guys want to leave at, yeah, it is doable, just not easy. If you guys want to leave at noon because it's been 2 hours, I completely understand. I'll just carry on until the bag is done, and then you can watch the end if you wish to at another time. Hard to see in a tunnel. Oh, thanks, Brandy. Yeah. And I'm not a terribly fast sewer. I try to be accurate, and I find I'm less accurate if I go too fast. So. stitching done. That was so hard. So much harder when the bag is done. Okay, flip that right back out again. Yeah, that's a good lesson. I like to sew it with pedal to the metal when I'm winding bobbins because I just think it gets all the oil flowing in my machine. But other than that, unless it's a straight seam or something, I don't feel the need to go too quick. Okay, so now we're gonna have to find. Oh, okay. The middle of the zipper. So I've already got the middle of my back panel marked. So now we have to find the middle of the zipper, which isn't particularly easy. So it doesn't want to bend this way. Okay, here's my pin. And then you want to find your quarter marks as well. Yeah. And here. So make sure your fronts are towards your fronts and slip it in here and start matching up again. This mark goes to the side seam here. I like to open these side seams up. Sometimes I'll even sew them open before I put these together. Oh, Kathy, my pleasure. I'm glad there's other slow sewers out there. Okay, now you just got to work the rest in. In all honesty, I did make the seams on the train case gusset. I made them just a little bit bigger than the pattern asks for because I was always finding that there was so much extra zipper compared to the zipper panel. So, and I was always trying to ease it in, and sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. So I made my seams just a little bit bigger. A few times I just about spurted out the seam allowances, Brandy. You should be proud of me. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, no kidding, right? Slow is fine, Kathy. Except on a live. Then not so much. I can't tell you how quick these 2 hours have gone, though. Oh, when I looked up at the clock and it said 11:32, I just about jumped out of my seat. Okay, if I remember correctly, um, yes, you do a scant seam allowance here because you're going to be also putting a train case piece in here, and then you'll do the actual seam allowance. Okay, so put my zipper foot back on. Oh, Brandy, always. Love you too. Yeah, definitely take care of you too. Okay. Like I said, I won't be offended if anybody leaves and comes back to watch it later. I understand completely. But I might as well finish it, right? Being a caregiver is hard work. Okay. Come on. Anybody else find with these machines that when you've got your zipper foot on, fabric kind of gets stuck up behind the middle part of the foot and it kind of gets stuck in there? I have to raise my foot from time to time to get the fabric out of there. Maybe it's just me. Aw, Kathy, I'm sorry. I know. It's a huge screwdriver. It's the one that came with the machine. My sister was a caregiver to her husband for many, many years, and it took a toll. She finally got to a point where she realized that she had to get help, even if it meant my husband Lauren just taking her husband for a walk, or someone coming and taking him for coffee, just to give her that tiny little break. Because when you're a caregiver, if you don't take care of you, you're not going to be able to take care of the person you love. You're just not. You're going to collapse. You're going to end up in a hospital bed because you're overstressed and overworked and tired. And so you've got to take time for yourself. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You can get help. Yeah. Feel it. That was out of the way. Almost there. Uh-oh. Well, that was awesome timing. Just lost my bobbin. And it's right at the end of the zipper. I had that much left. You can see it. This much. It's perfect. Okay. Nice to get one of my unraveling bobbins out of the way. Don't give me trouble. Okay. Now, I take my mesh pocket piece with the larger portion at the back. And do the full seam allowance. So this is my mesh pocket. This is mesh, and then the zipper. And you also have whatever I can't remember the name of this, but it's what you put on the mesh zipper first. You sew it down so that you can then sew it onto the zipper. Okay. Make sure the bigger portion is at the back. Yes, it is. Okay. And start clipping. Good planning, yeah. I don't know. I was so sure I'd have this done in 2 hours. Boy, was I wrong. So we're matching up our quarters again here. Okay, Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it more than you know. Oh, Stephanie, I'm sorry. Yeah, burnout. It's a real thing, people. God, take care of yourself. Yeah, Kim, I agree. Can't take care of them unless you take care of yourself. Yeah, I'm getting close. I've got just this to put on the lining side. Sew up the opening that I've got to keep open to turn it out. And then do the wire frames, which I might do. I don't know. I might do off camera. We'll see. I mean, I'll do the sewing, but I might not. Maybe I will. We'll see. Because that's what kind of gives this thing its shape, right? It's those wire frames. I might have to snip a little bit. So I'm snipping the actual zipper panel, not the mesh pocket train case piece. Just to make it fit in around those curves. I think this is the normal allowance. Oh, and then the next one is a little bit bigger, so it fits in properly. That's right. Okay. So if you all don't mind, like hitting the like, share, subscribe button if you're not already subscribed for Brandy's sake. Every tiny little bit helps with what she's going through. I mean, look at 20,000 subscribers now. Sometimes we think, what does my subscription mean? I'm just one person, but it's all those one persons that made 20,000. So every tiny little click, every tiny little subscription, it sure helps. She's got her coffee account too, which I linked below. And that's going to be going towards their stay in Kelowna. Every time Dave has to go to Kelowna for his treatments, that's what that is paying for. And I don't think Kelowna is cheap. So Dave is going to be apparently, they don't know the full story yet because she hasn't got all the final results on his mass. But initially she has been told 5 days of chemo, 5 days home, 5 days of chemo, 5 days home. And I think that goes on for, I think it's either 2 or 3 months. Wow. 2 months to get over, hey, Rhonda? Wow. But I believe it. Oops. Tough job. Okay, here we go. Time to rock and roll. Sure would be nice if YouTube let me play music in the background. I think I move a little quicker when I've got music playing. Probably should have undone the zipper, which I forgot to do. Oh, so far so good. Oh, I already went by my zipper pulls. You didn't even know it. This is really thick part of the back portion of this because you've got that train case back panel that has so many layers to it. And then you've got this as well, the train case panel. Funny how I used to make bags on my domestic, and I would get so frustrated because it just wasn't turning out the way I wanted it to. Finally got my industrial, and now I don't know what I would do without it. Hello, Kamal. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you for joining. Last little bit, and it's going to be persnickety on me. There we go. Looks okay. I don't feel like turning it out to make sure. I'll just kind of. Looks good. Okay, good. So now we take the last train case panel here, and we turn it over, and we add that to the lining piece here. And what I do is I leave an opening about that much on, and I do it on the front side, because to me, when you open up a train case, you're not looking down like this to see that seam that you have to make when you have to leave an opening. So I prefer to do the opening on the front. Open up the side seams. I think this has a bigger seam allowance. Yeah. Here we go. Front is that side. So I'm going to put my marks. Now I want to leave an opening. Here and here. snip some zipper pillow. My other dog has been in his crate for this entire time because I brought him down here the other day while I sewed, and it was okay. He doesn't get rambunctious, but I can hear him getting into stuff behind me, so I'm constantly turning around to make sure he's not eating thread or clips, or because he's still a pup. He's only a year old. He's a boxer. We love that breed. And I tell you, he would have taken on that bear for me yesterday. He was ready. Good boy. Ovals are not my favorite thing in the world, but sure have to do a lot of them for this bag. I don't know if you can hear any, it almost sounds like thunder from coming from upstairs. That's my dog in his crate, bouncing around in there, making noise. Aww, that's so cool. Congratulations, new mommy, Nicole. I love the labs. Just love them. Okay, which is the front. Oh, there's my knife. Oh, that's good, Cynthia. You can be loud sometimes. Sorry for being so silent. These train cases, I'm telling you, require concentration. Yay! A few little tucks. Yeah, I don't like that. That's more than a tuck. That's a fold. Good fold. Just get rid of that. Not so bad. So bad. Just one little bit. Push this one, switch down. We'll do it this side. That's better. Okay, so now I'm going to trim this seam except where the opening is, and then I'll turn it out. Okay, time to turn it out. Let's see how we did. Oh, my thumbs do not enjoy this at all. think I'll be putting something on my hands when I'm done here. Oh, darn it. Do you hear that seam rip a little bit? I hate that. Come on. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's just see how it looks first. And then I'll sew up that opening. There's the train case. It'll look a lot better once I steam it. Everything will look better. And then I like to stuff the train case. Something just fell off the table. With brown paper or tissue or something, just to keep it in the shape that it's supposed to be in before it gets to my friend. And there's the zipper panel. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I think mine are as well, Cynthia. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah, I've got osteoarthritis throughout my body, mostly my back, my entire spine actually. But yeah, I think I'm getting it in my hands as well. Okay, so I'm going to close up that opening that I ripped a little bit. Ugh, I hate that. Okay, I'm going to try and disguise that. Didn't just rip the seam open either, it actually ripped the fabric. It's very annoying. I did it, Jade. Sometimes I have to use the thicker vinyls because that's what goes with her fabric best. And those kill. Okay, just sew that closed. I think I'll put that was my phone. It's a pretty new phone, and I think I've dropped that stupid thing more than I've ever dropped any other phone combined. So I don't know what it is about that phone. I got the safety plate on it, so there's a little bit of a hairline fracture. But I'm hoping it hasn't gone down into the glass of the actual phone. tuck that back in. Okay, so now what we do is we do a 1/8 top stitch all the way around, and then we go down according to the pattern. We go down a certain amount and we do another line of stitching. Oh, you could, I don't know how to say your name, Jitador or something like that. You can make it. If I can make it, anybody can make it. Trust me. I advertised for this live on Facebook, and I'm hoping the friend sees it and she can actually watch me make one of her bags, because I don't usually record them. Okay, top stitching. Let's start the sides here. Keep the zippers out of the way. Don't want them sewn into the stitching. Squish. There we go. If I open this, it'll be a little less bulky. Oh, here I am trying to be all French. Thank you, Donna, for letting me know. That's funny. My background actually is French, but I've never spoken it. I just try and fail. Almost there. Now I got to do another seam, another line stitching. I know this is tedious, but I like to be accurate. So and this is the only pen that I can use because it's the only one that it's the disappearing ink. But I wish they had it in other colors. Maybe they do. Does anybody know if these Soline air erasers come in different colors? Would be nice. A white would be nice. Chalk doesn't usually work very well for me. I don't know if I just rub the fabric too much as I'm sewing, but by the time I get to the lines, they're all smudged. Oh, thank you, Christy. You guys are awesome. Brandy will really appreciate that. I'm almost there. This is monotonous. It seems. Sure you're not catching anything in there you're not supposed to. Follow those lines. Yeah, they're awesome. Another thing that I didn't know existed until I started making bags were those air erasing pens. I always had, for quilting, I had those ones that um, you can wipe off with water, but I didn't know there was air erasers, and they're awesome. Unless they don't show up on the fabric. Hmm. fan on a minute. Now I'm getting way too hot. I saw the marks when I was baking them, but there's one. Not as easily seen now. So I'm just lining my ruler up to where I have to sew. Do it that way. Works. Oh, there goes my dog again. Done. Oh, do you, Nicole? Yeah. Maybe that's what I should try. I just find the chalks that I've had that's more like the powder, and it rubs off really easy. Oh, there. Oh my, it's all done. Well, that part is done. I'm almost done, ladies. Just gonna put the frames in, and then the rest I'll do off camera because it's just putting zipper ends and putting my straps in and putting rivets in my straps. That's all that's left to do after the frames, but I'll do the frames on camera. What you do is you take seam ripper, and in that little area between the two rows of stitching, I don't know if you can see that, it's right in here, you seam rip that little area right there. Yeah, those are really good ideas, you guys. Really good. Oops. You might want to poke yourself with the stiletto, Dawn. Oh, my eyesight. Oh, my goodness. I think that should do it. I just like to take a little chopstick and just make sure that it's open. And I'll be able to get my frames through there. Open it. Maybe not. This is the best part, putting these frames in. I'm finally seeing the shape that this bag is supposed to be. It's pretty cool. Regardless of the changes that I have made myself personally to this pattern, just for my own sake, this is a brilliant pattern. Yukawa did an amazing job. Okay, now let's see it. Let's see if we can do this, gals. And gentlemen, if there's gentlemen on here. Don't mean to exclude you. this is the part where the silly little rubber thing usually comes off, so let's hope that does not happen this time. Get in there. Oh, see what I mean? Ah, even that E6000 didn't work. Let's see, where's my chopstick? Here. Push it in there. Perfect. It's one side done. Oops. That's it. Come on. Don't be stubborn. Again, it's all in the way I hold my mouth. Come on. It's not as hard as I'm making it look, I promise. Oh. The chopstick doesn't want to go through on this end for some reason. Oh, there we go. Get you in there. Come on. Oh. I've never had this amount of trouble. Easy peasy usually. Why the chopstick will go in, but this won't. Okay. That's it. Let me put some duct tape on this on the end. There. Oh, I've been worried. Okay, go in, go in, go in, go in. Yes, the E6000 failed. I know. Oh, yep, came off again. Darn it. There's got to be a better way. Has to be. Get it there. Okay. Yay. Yes. Okay, ladies. This and this. And once my zipper pulls are on, that's how it sits. Like that. And then I'll put my straps on. And put a little bronze rivet on there. And that's it. We are done. All done. That is the tumbleweed. And after this one, I got 6 more to go. I can't thank you all enough for joining me today. It was amazing talking to you all. And I think Brandy and I were talking about that, Nicole. It's one of her oh, I'd have to go up in the chat. I can't remember what they're called. But it's hard to, I don't know if you can see that it's kind of mottled. And I think this is the one that's named after a wildcat, like a lynx or something like that. Yeah. So thank you, Cynthia, Terry, Rhonda, everybody. I appreciate it so much. I really didn't expect this amount of people to come on. I thought I would be alone. So thank you so much for coming on and just watching this, liking it, sharing it, subscribing. It's all going to help Brandy as she goes through this rough time. So enjoy the rest of your day. Sorry I took up so much of it. And I'll see you again soon. Bye now.